until spring as kind of a, generality, as I'm kind of like jumping myself comfortably into my thoughts, as I tend to do. How you guys doing today? So, I hope many of you liked my conversation with Micah Dank. I've known, if you heard the beginning of it, I've known Micah for I've known Micah's work for many, many years, and I collaborated with the Weaving Spiders maybe a year ago or so, before I fucked all those guys off. Well, not all those guys, but I walked away from situations, said what I said about certain people's, and never heard from anybody that I didn't fucking speak about, or anybody that I would have liked to have reached me with explanations. Don't know what's up, where they're at, or whatever. Don't know if they like me, don't know if they don't like me. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So, I'm in a lull period, just hanging out, as is the beginning of the year, the line of work that I do. This is the period of time where it's crunch. It's not crunch is, crunch is just for Christmas, right? This is the this is the period of time where you have to push yourself, because you don't have an employer pushing you, right? And pushing myself is no big deal. I had to push myself to become one who can be pushed by an employer, right? That was the whole bit, right? It's just like I have a pinch of the tried and true, almost cliche of the workout attitude, right? One of my favorite feeds on Facebook is called Rare Breed Mentality, and it's basically it's kind of, I don't want to call it gym bro, because it's a little bit more involved than gym bro, right? It is those kinds of personal affectation. Like, it's very motivational for people that have to not have victim mentality, and the importance of the physical component to yourself towards eliminating that victim mentality, right? As I've been talking to a handful of people, I've spoken about how my personal development, I now know I have done backwards, because I should have been physically developed first, mentally developed second, and spiritually last. And granted, all of that goes in cycles, but the thing is that in my cycles, I just never cycled. I was just spiritual, then just mental, and no, I'm sorry, that's a lie. Just spiritual, then I added the mental to that, and then I added the physical to that, and it's given me many unique insights that have allowed me to be the voice that I am. To say the things that I say, know the things that I know. But it also just gives me the opportunity to tell you, if you're a younger person, wisdom, right? If you do not have physical ability, work on that first. You know, you might be, you know, like if you don't have much going on in your physique, I implore you. You know, I mean, if you're older, it doesn't matter. Older guys, like way older guys, right? Like once you're really over the top, you know, just like at nearly 45, you know, I know that that my body would begin to have a process that is subtle, that involves that aging because of the subtleties of what happens with cellular regeneration, which is getting back to what's up with your telomeres, right? Your genetic coding that repeats itself. So if you're young, I mean, like, you know, but the thing is, probably also so many people, like, you know, like spiritual seems to never come, right? It just seems to never come. I know plenty of people are way older. They have no spirit, right? They're not spiritual at all. You know, they're mental. They're largely mental. Some of them are physical. But, you know, it's quite something. Like, you've met the person who has physical acumen, a lot of wisdom, and has that spirit. It's hard to describe because it's so personal, but then it expresses itself in our relation with other people, right? This is you know, it's the difference between man'az and ehwaj, right? Because spiritual can be confused with. You gotta go ahead, man. Go on. Guy waved you. You're not paying attention. There you go. Now I gotta go. Good job. There we go. Anyway. Tenacious, or Thelonious, what's up, dude? Samuel, what's going on? Yeah, right? The dude. That's what happens. That's what happens when you don't believe in haircuts and you're well groomed. The dude may have been kind of you know, he may have been a hippie through and through, but he was but he was well groomed. He liked being clean. He had a certain modicum of self-respect. That's why everybody loves the dude. This is like, you know, Big Lebowski's one of the best fucking things. You want a good laugh and to learn something from another guy out there who has the physical, the mental, and the spiritual going on? Owen Benjamin. Can't find him on YouTube because except by you know, mirrored third party, Rumble. Unless you want to subscribe to his network, which is also good. I'm not on it now, but it's good. But you can get his live streams, his podcast, you know, and he did one on the Big Lebowski that was really, really good. I was really captivated by it. He pointed out a bunch of things that I knew about the Big Lebowski, and I was glad that he said it, right? So that's what was really cool about that, and he made a lot of points about things that articulated well, that were very self-evident, that I said, oh wow, cool, you saw that in the Big Lebowski. I did not. That is awesome. Owen Benjamin, the former mainstream comedian who was one of the most unequivocally put through the ringer for real, doesn't have the victim consciousness about it, keeps going on without any support or anything, right? It's the aspect of a man of integrity. You know, there's a bit of the warrior's heart in there. Men of character. I believe in men of higher character. Freshwater is sending me emojis. Hi. And oh, oops, that's not the right one. I gotta go this way. Anyway, Owen's recent show on narcissism has been. Yeah. You know, me being who I am, you know, like every time I watch stuff on narcissism, I get deeply reflective because it's me, right? I mean, I'm not a narcissist, but I'm only even capable of saying that because of just a lot of time that's gone by. A lot of time to look at people and say, like, fuck, am I a narcissist? Am I acting like a narcissist? I'm talking to all my fucking friends and anybody who's maybe not my friend but fucking has paid attention but doesn't say much. And I said, I wonder what this guy thinks because I never hear from him. You know, this scenario. So, these parking lines are so faded that I'm like hogging two spots. All right, here we go. Hey, what's up, Theo and Adam? You just saw Django Gentleman in some random Bob Dylan movie that probably didn't exist until the Mandela Effect. That does sound like something that didn't exist because of the Mandela Effect. I mean, no, I mean, honestly, there's like I want the timeline. I don't think my attitude on what time manipulation technically is radically different than what it used to be. All right, so I think that what James True and I talked about the Mandela Effect a few months ago, last year, that spawned me into realizing, oh, wait a minute, this makes more sense as a black magic curse obscuring the world from us. And that's really what the Mandela Effect is, which is why everything looks the same, but everything is different outside of that. Even though the appearances are all, you know, I mean, like, you can look at something like everything's in the uncanny valley. And I think that's, for the most part, at least with the mind's condition now, is the only level of manipulation that they can do is uncanny valley, as opposed to, like, you wake up tomorrow and you're living in a completely alien world and your memory feels like it's always been. But my point is that this was probably massive amounts of suppression and gaslighting, suppression of stuff that's out there in the world, like a movie that was made, and then gaslighting you about other things, and then your mind fails to put certain things together, and then your first eye can't perceive it, because I believe that everything we see with these two eyes, when it's being interpreted by the brain, there's a third eye component that's overlaid in. Because I know for a fact that there are people that the only reason why they're saying it's always that way is because the rational mind. And of course, when your jump go theory is some sort of time distortion, and the reason why that's a jump go theory is because we're very proud of ourselves, and we don't, and to be proud also means to be fearless. This is the lion. You would fall into a deep amount of insecurity. I mean, I feel like you fall into insecurity anyway, because the world's changed without your whatever, right? But the point is that the important thing that you have control over, which is fighting the illusions of dark sorcery, fighting black magic with white magic, so on and so forth, now goes out of your hands because it involves some sort of quantum technology that's beyond you. Because some deep state agent with high-tech shit pushed a button and now everything's wrong. Right? And it's beyond you because it's in a bunker in the middle of the desert, surrounded by monstrous security guards with deadly weapons, and can not only unalive you, but unperson you. You go missing and shit, right? And you could be stuck in a hole, to suffer. And you become a rumor that scares other people from doing things. Right. This is all the stuff that goes on when you try to think of, man, how would I deal with it? God, I'd have to do something horrible, right? As opposed to what you do to deal with the psyops in a psychic, psychological, and magical sense that you have complete control over. So anyway, the future is looking very interesting. I think that the only reason why we can think of the bad, like, there are people that are going to have a bad future this year, and there are people that are going to have a great future this year. It's dependent on your wisdom in your ability to be apart from everybody. From everybody that's way off your frequency, right? You have to know how to hold your own mind and integrity together. And so you're trying not to get swept up in it all, but you're also not trying to dismiss everything. Some people think they're the smart ones because they believe all the superstitions, and then some people think they're the smart ones because they've dismissed all forms of woo. And you have to be neither. You're going to get into a whole lot of fucking arguments with people. There's people that think that you have to be on one side or the other of these particular matters, when these are all matters of your personal discovery in your mind and the polarities within your mind that are going back and forth. This is the Two of Swords, right? It's a Two of Swords situation. So don't ever let somebody talk down to you, right? I asked a so-called friend on social media a question about things that was, coming from some, which was, my question was framed under a handful of either assumptions, you could say, or imaginations, thought experiments, right? Because I am no longer a person who has a concrete claim on what I think I know this realm's shape is. Globe, flat, convex, donut, whatever. I am because that question was phrased asking about a phenomenon that I want to say is happening, such as the migration of magnetic north. This idea of the migration of magnetic north, which there are flat earth models that fucking support this. Right? Like, he's running around, saying I'm asking a stupid, he's not running around, but like his rebuttaling this is comments in public, right? And I'm being completely polite. Like like you need to grow some fucking nerves, man. Like, your friend asks you a perfectly good question that has nothing to do with you and your intelligence. Like, I'm asking you because you know a lot of things are too. And, then you grandstand on a diatribe of my improper question. And it's just like, dude, this is, I didn't fucking, I thought you were my friend, just having a fucking open conversation about stuff in your wheelhouse, and my words are very, very insulting to you because they're so globe thought out. And I'm just like, okay, all right. Thank you for explaining why I am wrong. So you obviously know what's up. So I'm asking you what's up. And everything was just, and every answer came as a small piece that wasn't thoroughly explained, and then a whole bunch of why the very premise behind my question, as he asserts it, is wrong. And I'm just like, dude, I'm not even gonna bother to say things like, but dude, I'm not even a globe earther. Like, I don't even care. It's just like, felt we knew each other, you went missing for a hot minute, and I was, trying to find out if you were all right. We had a short little conversation after you reemerged, and you told me your ordeal and found out that you're all right. And this is the way you fucking talk to people anyway, right? It's just like, I am sorry I've insulted your ideas. I'm sorry you think that you are your ideas and have to get all fucking insulty about it and fucking whatever. I don't want to have, I don't need to have my fucking intelligence insulted. Like, this happens with me because I ask questions in a very direct fashion, and people can't fucking handle it because it's the right way to ask a fucking question, and people are all fucking consumed in politeness. That shit has to go out the window if you want the fucking world to fucking properly evolve. It's not about the guy asking so boldly, answering so boldly, being right. It's about being so fucking bold that it forces it to be addressed, as opposed to letting it sit for 70 fucking years as a goddamn mental illness because you have a half-assed, insufficient fucking explanation for things and how they work that matter, especially because of everything that the story of the world is trying to tell you, because that story gives you an idea of what you're gonna be fucking backing or not backing in the future. Anyway, that's a short little hello for you guys. I'm gonna get going. I'll catch you later.